Meagan, that reminds me of my ongoing project where I'm going alphabetically through all the countries. I'm reading a book about each country.
How far did you get? Last I heard, you were in Afghanistan.
Still in Afghanistan, Meagan.
Great. Keep us posted.
It's a big country. It's a big country, Meagan. Hold on. Let's just see what percentage I'm at. Hold on. Well, this one doesn't give you a percentage, but I can tell you that I'm on chapter 2 of Afghanistan, A Cultural and Political History by Thomas. Well, there's a label covering it, so it just says Thomas. It just says Thomas Barf, but I think it must be Thomas Barfield.
Who's kicking off this episode?
Well, it's usually you, but you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
I already forgot what we're talking about.
Oh, no. Now I do got to do it, and we'll see if I can remember.
Well, no, if you remind me, I'll do it. But I guess if you're reminding me, you might as well just do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And that's what they're saying. Anyway, on today's show, Lindy, and nobody else listened to this. This is just for Lindy's benefit. Today, we're going to do a TikTok digest. What's going on TikTok? Good thing the digest is here to tell you. Parentheses, the boys are being nice on there, and I'm being genuine. Mm-hmm. Then I need to get something off my chest. Something's been bothering me for 6 months. Something we talked about in the past that I've just realized, or have been realizing, I wasn't being truthful. I lied. Sort of. And I'm going to talk about it. Unfortunately for the girls, it's about sports. But first, Lindy has a secret.
This is a segment we're calling Lindy's Got a Secret.
Secret. I got a secret.
No, you know what? I'm going to call this a segment P.U.B.E.S. Hang on.
Okay.
Segment P.U.B.E.S.
Oh, I haven't heard her in so long. What a beauty.
I know. We need to stay on the P.U.B.E. beat.
Mm-hmm. And always keep it funky.
Yeah. So this is unfortunately about Heated Rivalry.
Oh, dear.
First of all, everybody, you got to calm down and you got to leave the boys alone.
Please. They're deleting their, as my old boss would say, their Instagrams. Okay. They're afraid to leave their homes. Please give them peace if you claim to love them. Okay. Please.
I'm starting to get very uncomfortable and I'm trying to enjoy my romance. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like I'm committing a sex crime. Yeah. So can you stop? However, Lindy's got a secret because I'm going to say something that is a little bit problematic. And I think that I have a problematic take, although I might have the anti-problematic take. I can't tell.
Who could say?
And Meagan, and maybe we're going to have a sub-segment called Judge Judy, or what's she has a new show that's like Judy's Judgment. Okay,
but let's just be safe and call it Judge Mills Lane.
Yep. Okay, Judge Meg's Lane, and I want you to tell me who's being problematic. Okay. So, as we've seen, the Heated Rivalry fandom is being very scary.
Yeah.
And we're against it. However, I've also seen some gays be like, women aren't allowed to like this.
Oh.
And you're fetishizing the gays. Oh. And it's the same as when men objectify women and you're being gross. And
let me stop you right there, gay person. It's not the same.
It's not the same. And you're dehumanizing us and you're just like using us for sexual pleasure. But that's all up for debate. Feel free. And if you're a gay man who feels objectified by Heated Rivalry and the way that women are being freaks, feel free to process that, whatever. However, as a piece of evidence for why the straight women are being bad and homophobic by objectifying the gays. This white gay on Threads was like, the straight women are going to the hockey games and they're yelling at the players to kiss. And it's like, and look, I can contain multitudes. Is it sexual harassment to go bother the hockey players and scream at them to kiss their brothers on the ice? Sure. And it probably does make them uncomfortable, which I think is the part of the reason why the author wrote the book in the first place, because she was tired of the hypermasculine homophobia in hockey.
Sure.
That's what I read on the internet. But so I'm sure it makes some of them uncomfortable. I'm sure it's gotten very old at this point, and I'm sure it's really annoying.
Yeah.
But boo fucking who. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are hyper-masculine, rich, famous, straight, white men, mostly, getting lightly catcalled?
I do feel like this show has kind of fractured everyone's minds in like 1,000 different ways. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to be like, oh, that person's wrong. Like, you're allowed to feel whatever way you want about it. And I, by the way, totally understand the feeling of like, oh, my little community is all of a sudden getting a lot of attention from people in a way that I'm alarmed about, you know? And I understand that feeling also. But this idea that it's the same, it's not the same. It isn't the same at all. But also what it reminds me of is, I think about this a lot. This was probably like 10 years ago. Jon Hamm kept getting paparazzi'd walking around Hollywood with no underwear on. And you could see the whole outline of it all, of his Jon Hamm, of his Johns and his hams. You know what I mean? And a lot of women were like, oh, hey, like not to him, not to his face, but there was a lot of discourse on Twitter about Jon Hamm's hams. And everyone was like, oh my God, ooh, it's out and about. Jon Hamm walking around with no panties on. He ain't got no panties on. And everyone was like, you know, hooting and hollering over Jon Hamm. All in good fun. And you want to know why it wasn't that serious? Because women have no real power in society to do anything to you. Okay, so it's not even, I mean, like power is kind of like an essential part of sexual harassment. I'm not saying that women can't sexually harass men. It happens and it's not okay to do, right? But like, women don't have the power to sort of like systemically oppress men in some way, let alone oppress the National Hockey League in some way. Okay, and I don't want those guys to feel uncomfortable at work either, but it's like, 6 women at a hockey game saying kiss, big deal, dude. Anyway, Jon Hamm's response was so interesting because instead of just being like, haha, thank you, ladies, please. He full on was like, it's disgusting that you're objectifying me in this way. And it was like Jon Hamm couldn't cope with 35 minutes of unwanted attention. And yet since the age of 4 years old, I think every woman has had to develop a defense mechanism and a coping mechanism and a set of skills to avoid unwanted male attention everywhere we go. Everywhere. From like the grocery store to the beach to work, on the bus. You know what I mean? And like Jon Hamm lost it over like 20 minutes of this. Try to think of what age you were when a man commented on your titties. And it's like 11.
Or like watch those videos of like the Olsen twins or like Britney Spears getting interviewed. And it's like, oh, here's this countdown clock to when she's legal or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Like yes. And obviously men who have been traumatized by women, that's real. And I have empathy for that because I know how it feels.
You've been there. How does it feel? He wrote a whole song about it.
That's right. It just made me laugh so hard to think about the men in their hockey gear. Like, you're wearing a helmet and you have a stick and part of your job is fighting and you're protected by a plexiglass barrier and you have security guards and thousands of people are screaming. How can you even hear the kiss, kiss, kiss?
I know. Don't
worry about it. I think you're fine.
I don't know.
I think you're fine.
It just seems silly. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. And
sure.
But also, I don't think that this is going to have wide-reaching impacts on straight woman, gay men relations. I don't think this is a diplomatic crisis. I think we're going to get by just fine. I think people are just upset about something else. I get the sense that mostly what's going on in this country at the moment is we're all really upset about something else. And
yes.
And I think, and this is not, I'm not even trying to be rude because I do this too, but it's like just, and I'll explain an instance of this in a second. But I think one of the reasons I should tread carefully here, but one of the reasons our side focuses so much on like saying the right thing is like, that's the one thing you can control. Don't use this outdated term. Don't call people this or that or whatever. It's not that difficult at the end of the day. But I do think that the reason that we focus on those things, because we have no control over like the bigger like global issues that are actually causing physical and mental harm to ourselves and to our community members. And here's what happened to me. So I was at the gym the other day and there was some pop up for like an energy bar in the lobby and they're giving out free samples. And I kind of don't want to use the name of, because I don't have a beef with it. Let's just say it was Swole Auntie. Okay. And it just like invoked this idea of like just the branding, the whole branding and marketing scheme was like, imagine an old woman being strong. That's crazy. And they asked me if I wanted a free sample and I was like, no. And then I left and I was so pissed off about the name of this energy bar for the rest of the day. And I was like, women can be strong. What a stupid name. I bet that was so funny to you guys when you thought of it in your frat house in college. And I was like getting so angry about it. And then I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. Doesn't matter what the name of the bar is called. I'm mad about something else.
Right.
And that was the thing that appeared in front of me that I could get mad about. Yeah. And that's like one area where I can be like, I would never say that. I would never like name my product that. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You know,
that reminds me of a great shame I've been carrying with me. And I actually should maybe do an accountability segment really quick. Because you know what I did?
What did you do?
I did a
segment P.U.B.E.S.
Back when I was at Jezebel, so probably 2013, 2014. My brain's still developing. I'm not yet 30 years old. You know, I'm a young person. Now, some might say my granddaddy got married at 14 and he was running the farm by 15.
Damn.
He was an adult. Well, I'm a soft little baby worm and I was still a child at 28. So,
right.
Or I guess, let's see, if it was 20, let's not worry about it.
It doesn't matter.
So I was trapped in the cycle of feed the blog. That was my job. We had to constantly pump shit out. And we were constantly being accused of like being outrage farmers, basically. Or like, what do they call it? You know, like click rage. No, we didn't say rage. We didn't say rage bait yet, but clickbait, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was always like, no, I'm not doing that. I believe what I say, even if I'm trying to be funny or whatever. But I wrote one thing, and I probably wrote other things that are bad, but I wrote one thing that has haunted me because I know it was a bad take.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about it to this day. So I'm going to come clean.
Go on.
There was like a fraternity in a college. There was a period where I got really mad about the Greek system.
Sure.
Or like the white Greek system. Like the white, if there's a majority white frat, that's just like consolidating power and passing it along to the next generation. Like, it's evil. You know what I mean? In some way, it's like, because it's like, oh, Dick Cheney was in my frat, so now I'm his intern. You know what I mean? Like it really, it's like a way for rich people to pass down opportunities and influence to boys that they pick to be just like them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the kind where I'm like a legacy admission to this college and now I'm in the same frat that my dad was in and now I get to just work in finance.
Yes. And also my dad is Chief Justice John Roberts.
Right. Exactly. So there was this moment when I was at Jezebel and I started thinking about this and I was like, I'm mad about that. I hate that. So I was kind of like, on a tear and I was mad at the frat boys. And so then this frat at some college, and we must have gotten a tip about this or something. They made like a pinup calendar of themselves. They made like a nudie calendar.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they were fully nude, but I remember I wrote this thing that was like, not everyone wants to see your dick. Like, how entitled are you that you think?
Oh God.
And like,
things are so bad now that when you said that, my first reaction was, oh, that's so cute.
I know. Right. That, like, and of course, I think probably even as I was writing it, I was like, this isn't fair. No, they're not forcing anyone to look at it. It's like, you can just buy it if you want. If anything, it's probably problematic in that their children.
Yeah, they will live to regret it, probably.
Right.
You know,
I don't know who's buying it, but that makes, now that I think about it as a 43-year-old, that makes me uncomfortable. But
sure.
Anyway, I wrote this like really mean thing about how like men just assume that everyone wants to fucking know about their wieners, or well, I don't know.
Well, those kids were ahead of their time because it turns out everybody does want to know about it.
Yeah, they should have made a naked hockey calendar.
They should have sold that calendar to Hollywood.
But I think they were like raising money for charity, and they were just like trying to have a little fun.
Damn, you got after them too.
Because I think we got some responses from the boys who were like, that was mean. And like,
oh no.
And I also
and one of those boys was John David Vance. And this is on you.
Oh,
you did this.
No, but I believe that someone, and maybe it was just a commenter, but someone pointed out that I think that they were actually trying to do something, quote unquote, feminist, like where they were like, oh, women are always objectified in a calendar. We're gonna do it. And then I was like, fuck you. and I have no defense. I was gonna say in my defense, I don't have a defense other than the fact that like I was constantly at the time being tormented by men on the internet, and I was mad. You're
just projecting out about something else.
Yeah, I was mad about something else. And I took it out on a bunch of like 19, 20-year-olds. And I'm sorry, guys. If you were in that frat, I'm so sorry.
I want to apologize too. I wasn't involved, but in retrospect, that's pretty cute, assuming it was for charity and everything. And also like the type of guy we're dealing with these days, I would trade all of them for you 7 frat guys.
Oh my God.
Any day, all day.
I don't want to get into this because we're keeping it light, but I'm really having a big feeling about how, as I said, I was tortured for many years by men on the internet, and they were from some specific social groups of men.
Yes.
You know, men who like
became the president.
Yeah. Well, it's like literally, you know, so I was like hounded and tortured by like men's rights guys, kind of pickup artisty guys, Gavin McInnes and his boys,
who are very proud, very
proud. All these different groups of people. And I had this realization a couple days ago, like that's literally like they figured out a way for the government to arm specifically those guys and send them out to do whatever they want. I was like, it's literally the guys that were like trolling me and my colleagues and doing lots of other bad things in like 2015. And at the time it was like, well, at least they're just, you know, fringe losers.
Right.
And some of us at the time were saying, hey, we as a society should probably squash this. Maybe we should put some safeguards in place to limit these people,
their influence.
Their influence and their like normalization. And everyone said, no, thanks. It's fine.
No, it's not that serious.
And it's actually like really like couldn't be more serious now. And their unchecked power is actually my personal worst nightmare, in addition to being a global existential threat.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to render my judgment as Judge Meg's Lane, I'll say, I think it's okay for women to like Heated Rivalry.
Thanks.
And I think it's okay for people to feel like, wow, I enjoy this sexually. It's not okay to make your friends uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Not okay to sexually harass people. Okay.
Is it okay to yell kiss, kiss, kiss?
I'm going to go ahead and say it's okay to yell kiss at a hockey game because since when do we care what millionaires think about stuff? Gives a shit. You know, By the way, I thought we kind of talked about this before a long time ago about what we thought were like the most Republican leagues. Mm-hmm. And my guess at the time was like pretty much every single women's league is going to be the best politics wise. And then I think probably baseball is the most Republican. And I would guess hockey was second to most. Somebody looked into this. Oh. And there was like a graph. It's not perfect. The data is not perfect because they're relying on like publicly available like voter registration data, which doesn't capture like, say, hockey players from Canada who play in the United States. Like we don't have their voter registration file, which is fine. So we don't really know. But that was bang on because of the players in the MLB, 53% are Republicans. Yikes. Which is why nobody asked Cal Raleigh a single follow-up question. I don't want to know. None of you want to know.
Is that the butt guy?
That's the dumper. Yeah. Don't ask him. Don't ask him.
I'm not.
Nobody ask him. It's not important.
I almost never talk to him. I promise I won't.
Okay, well, if you're texting, don't ask any follow-up cues. NHL, very close second at something like 47%. Is like a bunch of Republican guys. All of a sudden, I'm supposed to care about how Republicans feel about getting yelled at? Come on. Go yell kiss at a bunch of Republicans. I don't care.
Right. It's like, look, on a micro level, should you run up to two men and scream kiss, kiss, kiss at them on the street or whatever? No. But what I'm reacting to specifically is the idea that women should feel like, I'm just saying, cry about it to someone else.
Here's how, and this is probably me like severely overreacting, but it's like at the end of the day, you're a man telling me not to like something? Shut up. like how come it's like when everyone got really mad about vocal fry and I was like, damn, you all figured out a way to tell women to shut up by inventing a new word. Like people will not rest until women have no hobbies, nothing to do, and they never speak. And like of all the things for women to watch, why not the gay hockey show? Like it's nice and people like it. I've only watched 3 episodes and I won't be continuing, but that's not important. If it's nice, and I am not talking about the psychopaths who are bullying these men off of Instagram. I'm not talking about that, but it's like, damn, you went online to be like, women aren't allowed to like something? Read a book, loser.
You know, vocal fry, question mark. You know what's annoying about that is that y'all don't like it when women are loud either.
So
like, you don't like it when I talk like this, but you don't like it when I don't like this either. But you don't like this either.
Also, how do you men have it too?
Shut the fuck up. I'm mad about something else.
I'm mad about something else. Anyway, we're all mad about something else. Write in. Let us know what you're mad about.
Yeah.
Something else. Don't tell us what you're actually mad about. Tell us how your anger is manifesting against something that doesn't deserve it. 703-829-0003 or deartextmeback@gmail.com. And that's Lindy's secret, I guess.
Lindy's secret.
Segment P.U.B.E.
And we're going to take a break and then we're going to talk about Megan's secret.
I like how that segment was segment P.U.B.E.s, Lindy's secret, parentheses, Judge Meg's lane.
Yes. It's important to have as many segments as possible, I think.
I think so too. The people love the segments.
And I would like to talk about something. I don't know if this is a segment P.U.B.E.
Is it Megan's journey?
Well, it's not Megan's journey. It's not Bad Bunny related.
But so Megan's journey is only ever going to be about Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought
that's the only journey I'm going on. I don't want to be a part of anything else. I just want to be on a journey with Benito. That's all I want. But you know what? I think I'm going to put it under Gino's.
Gino's, you go for the food we've got. Gino's, you go for it sizzling hot. Gino's, you go for the food. Burgers, french fries, chicken too. Gino's, salad bars, steaks and milkshakes. Gino's, you go for the food. Gino's, you go for the food we've got. We've got it. Gino's, you go for it sizzling hot. Gino's, you go for the food.
Yeah. Okay, that really got me in a good mood. But actually,
every time, God. I mean, that's the medicine that the people need, Megan.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the sizzling hot. And because here comes the sizzling hot take. You know, a long time ago, I was mentally infected by sports. And we were talking about baseball a lot. And many of you, not all of you, some of you were on a mental illness journey with me vis-a-vis baseball. Some of you were like, okay, girl, we've had enough about the sports. So if you're that person, I'm sorry about what's about to follow. You can skip. But we were talking about sports. As the listeners may or may not know, I grew up a massive Sonics fan, used to go to the games all the time. My aunt and uncle had like really close seats. So you could like hear the players talking to each other, including Gary Payton talking shit, which was like a highlight of my life because the man was an expert, just an icon of the shit talking game. And I loved basketball. Then the Sonics left Seattle. And they became the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've struggled to get into the NBA because the Sonics are gone. And I don't really care about any of the teams on the East Coast. It's difficult to watch games on the West Coast because it's very late here. And I'm tired and I'm 1,000 years old. Yep. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So you said something to me like, Megan, I suspect you watch sports like I do, which is I really care about all the guys. I want to know the stories of all of the guys, like on this team, that team. I love the lore. I like to know the connections, who's friends with who. And you know what I said? I said, yeah, I like that. And I've been bothered by that for like 6 months because no, I don't. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And here's what got me thinking about it. You know, because this year, out of nowhere, the Seahawks were really good. Okay. And that caught me by surprise because I gave up on NFL. I've been clean off NFL for like 8 or 9 years now. Yeah. I gave it up in 2017 for moral reasons, although I don't feel judgmental towards people who still watch it. But for me, it was like I had sort of like invented a house of cards about the CTE stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and I was not letting anything pierce the illusion that it was fine. I was like, they'll just give them bigger helmets. It will be fine.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yep.
Yeah, even though what you're actually watching is young men, like 24-year-olds, you're watching people get Alzheimer's. You know what I mean?
By the way, for not even that much money. Like,
well, yes, because at the time, I don't know if this is still true, but at the time, the NFL had one of the worst negotiated contracts I've ever seen where like the salary minimum for new players and rookies was super low for professional sports. And you'd have the option to one day make more money. But this is a sport where you could have a career ending injury on any given play. It's really important to front load the money as much as possible.
Yeah,
but, you know,
and I believe there's not like a pension or so, like or it's like you have to play a certain amount of time. I forget exactly, but it's like basically like you make what you make and maybe you fuck up your brain forever. Like in the NBA, I feel like even if you just play a couple seasons, you could be like set for life if you're smart with your money. I feel like, but
NFL,
anyway.
It's like any professional sport, very difficult to obviously even make it that far. And then when you do, there's no guarantee that you'll be taken care of after you've been grievously injured on any given play or over a series of smaller plays. Like that's the danger of CTE. Anyways, I had sort of like built this house of lies to be like, it's okay. Everything's fine. They're going to get bigger helmets. And then I believe what finally pierced this illusion for me was they were negotiating for a better contract. And Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, said, we can't give them more money up front. If we acquiesce to their demands, that's like letting the prisoners run the prison. Oh, yeah. And it just punctured the balloon immediately, you know? Yeah. And this is happening at the same time that the right was all pissed off at Kaepernick for taking a knee. It's like, which is so stupid. And like the militarization of football was increasing. I mean, it's always been pretty strongly linked with like military culture anyways, but it's like the flyovers and the Kaepernick stuff. And just the outright racism from like the fans. And Donald Trump was the president. So Donald Trump's the president. Jerry Jones says this crazy racist thing about paying the players more. And I just said, boof, bye. I can't watch this. And so I stopped watching it in 2017. And then out of nowhere, everyone's like, oh yeah, Seahawks, best team in the NFC. So weird. So because the Seahawks got really good, all of a sudden the algorithm was like, oh, we should start serving Meagan Seahawks videos. Meagan, who's clean off the NFL, needs these drugs. Yeah. And unfortunately, they hooked me kind of a little bit again. Yeah. But there was a video of like the Seahawks guys like coming in from training camp, and one of them goes, here's my hot sports take. If you root for the Oklahoma City Thunder, you are never allowed to root for the Sonics when they come back to town. And I see you making that face. And I stood up and gave this man a standing ovation. And I said, you know what? I need to talk about this on the podcast because I agree with that man 100%. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't give a shit how nice any of them are. And I don't care if any of them are friends. That is not how I watch sports. It's us versus them. And us doesn't exist right now. But when it does, it's over for you hoes.
Yeah. When the Sonics exist, I'll root for the Sonics. They don't exist.
True. I think you're going to be like, oh, what's Jalen Brunson doing?
He's on the Knicks.
I know you care about them all for some reason.
I'm sorry.
By the way, I did not mean this to become a fight between me and you.
You know what?
I was really thinking about myself.
You know, you say that, but it's so funny because when you first said that you had something you wanted to talk about, I was like, this is going to be something about me. And then we're going to, I had like an inkling. I was like, this Megan's going to start a fight with me.
I really genuinely didn't go into this trying to start a fight with you. I just was thinking about it so much. I was like, I don't watch sports like that at all. And for the record, actually, genuinely,
you don't have to.
I don't care. I'm dropping the facade because I actually think it's a completely fine way to watch sports. I really do. But I couldn't believe myself for agreeing with that because it's not true for me at all. You know,
well, all I was saying, because like, but hold on. What I was trying to say, I wasn't trying to say that you have to like the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No,
but
I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
But you do like the characters because you like the dumper of it all. And you like the Jose Canseco, 1-800-Canseco.
I did care a lot about that, yeah.
You do love a wacky character, and he doesn't have to be from your home team. And I will not back down on that.
I think you should back down on a little bit because your example is Cal Raleigh. He plays for Seattle. The second Cal Raleigh leaves Seattle, I don't care about him. He's gone.
You're telling me that you don't think that like Marshawn Lynch is funny anymore.
Yeah, but he came back in. He left to go play for the Raiders and then he reintegrated himself. He re-enmeshed himself into Seahawks culture. You see, he did the work to get back into my good graces. And now he's like a photographer for them. Something to think about. Richard Sherman did the exact same thing because Richard Sherman left to play for the 49ers. And I was like, well, I guess he's dead to me, which is unfortunate because as we all now know, I still have that Aaron Andrews interview with him memorized 12 years on, almost 13, you know, but he enmeshed himself into Seahawks culture after retiring. So he's okay now.
Meagan, you have a great sense of humor, and I simply don't believe you that if someone did something hilarious, but they happen to not play for a Seattle sports team.
It depends. If somebody from another team does something hilarious in a game against a Seattle team, it's the least funny thing that's ever happened. And I don't acknowledge that it's funny.
That's such a micro.
But if it happens elsewhere,
scenario.
That's fine. But I'm not going to invest my time and energy caring about what's going on with like the Mets. Just because a guy did something funny over there.
I don't need you to, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what we're talking about because I feel very attacked.
Okay, I want to say something else before we go, and it's this. I'd like to apologize to you because I genuinely, when I thought of this, did not mean to do that whole thing where I pointed at you and yelled at you. I really didn't have that in mind.
You pointed at me and you yelled at me, and my antenna precogged it earlier today.
You were in your little bath with the thing attached to your bald head, and you had a vision. Yeah. And I want to apologize, but it's just been bugging me. I just wanted to let people know that my main goal is Seattle supremacy. Sure. Above all else, above all others. And here's what really got me thinking about it. I tried to watch an NBA game again. I think it was like, I don't even remember the teams. And I was like, I don't care. It was like just two random East Coast teams. And I was like, I don't care about this at all. And even if somebody does something funny, I don't find this interesting. And I really found that what I need is to feel a sense of like we're forming an army.
Yeah.
Against, say, Golden State. And we're all battling Steph Curry together. No. You know, like that's how I feel.
And to be clear, I get that. And I don't watch NBA. I wouldn't say that I watch NBA games with a tremendous amount of like personal emotional stake. Whereas if the Sonics came back, I would have like, I don't root for any one team in particular, but I do like to see what my guys are up to because they're all my sons. And I have individual attachments. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's true. There's another level of sort of urgency and pain when it is actually your team.
Yes.
And it hurts and it's scary.
And it's scary.
And I get that.
Yeah. Some of these videos that the algorithm is sending me from like the 2013 era Seahawks, like my butt still clenches during some of these highlights. And I was like, I know what happens at the end of this game and I'm still scared.
Yeah.
What happened to me the years from like 2010 to 2017 when I was watching a lot of Seahawks? I think I was traumatized. I think that Russell Wilson traumatized me. Anyway, I am sorry. I genuinely did not mean to do that. I just thought I just related to the comment about like hometown absolutism so much, you know, that I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. And then I attacked you. And that was unfair.
You know what that was, Meagan?
Segment P.U.B.E.
It turned into a segment P.U.B.E. I can't believe the goodwill of Geno's dissipated so quickly.
I think we need to hear it again, Meagan.
Okay.
Geno's, you go for the food we've got. Geno's, you go for it sizzling hot. Geno's, you go for the food. Burgers, french fries, chicken too. Geno's, salad bars, steaks and milkshakes. Geno's, right. You go for the food.
Can you change?
Geno's, you go for the food we've got. We've got it. Geno's, you go for it sizzling hot. Geno's, you go for the food.
Okay.
That healed me. I'm not mad at you anymore.
Yep. Okay, great. And I was never mad at you, and I'm really sorry about whatever that was.
I wasn't mad at you either, but I was afraid for my life.
Mad about something else. I was mad about something else. And
That's
it
fair.
spilled over into this conversation about sports. Okay, we're going to take a little breaky break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to have a TikTok where we talk about something nice that happened on TikTok. Hello. Okay. I've been trying to think of things. Oh, like kind of per what you were saying about how reality is piercing the Zoloft.
Yeah.
And we were talking about videos that make us cry. And there's so many good ones that make me weep and weep. But I've been noticing, I've been getting served some videos that are like boys being wholesome.
Yeah.
Guys being dudes.
Hashtag heated rivalry.
Hashtag heated rivalry. What, like, I'm not getting a lot of those, actually.
Well, I don't mean like, I just mean that even though
they're boys being dudes.
No, even though it's a explicitly softcore pornographic, there is also something wholesome about it emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally very wholesome. And they're not committing any crimes against anyone as far as I'm aware. Like the heated rivalry guys haven't joined ICE.
And they never would.
And I don't think that they would. Yeah. So I got served something that made me laugh for 37 years. I don't know the username of the person at all, but it's like 6 high school boys, right? And the caption is like, day 6 of bringing random items to school. And already I see this caption, I'm locked in. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to know more about this. Okay. So these guys are sitting around a table. They have their backpacks in front of them. And critically, they have all taken a sip of water because the goal is to not laugh when your friend pulls out the thing from his backpack that he brought from home. So they see how far they can make it. First kid opens up his backpack, pulls out an iron. Pretty funny. Yep. Not the funniest thing I've ever seen, but like pretty funny, like pretty good. And they're all like, you know, like it gets a good, you know, muted giggle from his friends.
I can imagine. Yeah.
The next guy pulls out something like, I don't know, like his mom's belt. And they're all like, ha, like the idea of you going into your mom's room and getting a little accessory. Pretty funny.
Pretty random.
Yeah. Pretty random. A random item to be sure. Now, the third kid pulls out 36 hot dogs in a package. And at this point, the water is spilling out of the children's mouths. Yeah. They're laughing. I'm crying with laughter myself because I can't think of anything funnier than 36 hot dogs. Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, by the way, I want to give a little shout out to kid number 2, who is an unsung hero because you need the sort of spacer in there to make it funnier when the 36 hot dogs come out. Like
exactly.
You need a straight man. And that's an important role.
Exactly. And so he played it to perfection because when the kid slaps the 36 hot dogs on the table, it's a beautiful moment in that classroom. It's so great. And by the way, I hope they're not getting in trouble at school because this is truly the only thing getting me through life is these high school kids bringing random items from home.
Yeah.
Now, the fourth kid pulls out like a little monkey statue who's flipping everybody off. It's like 4 inches tall and it's really funny. Yeah. It's a perfect random item. It's super funny. Okay. Now, and they're all laughing. Now, the 5th kid pulls out an iron. He brought his iron from home. Now, here's what makes it so good. The first kid bringing the iron is like, just okay. The fact that a second kid brought an iron now adds shine to the first iron. So now that's double funny.
Yeah.
Because they both brought an iron. And I'm already dead from the 36 hot dogs. Okay. So the 2 irons has sent me to space. Yeah. Now, the final kid slowly and dramatically reaches into his backpack to pull out his random item. Slams 12 hot dogs on the table. I'm gone. I'm done. I said, now, the iron thing was funny enough, but not another 12 hot dogs. At this point, all the boys like push away from the table. They're cracking up. Water is spilling everywhere. And then the video cuts. And I watched it probably 18 times. I thought it was so funny. And I've gotten served a bunch of them. So like the next one I got, I thought was, I'm not going to remember all the items. And I'll try to download and post these for people on our Instagram if we can and on our Patreon too, so you can see if you're not on Instagram anymore. But like the first kid, just so strong, pulls out a human-sized Lego head out of his backpack. And it's like, what? And what I like about it is that like it evokes so much about these kids' home life. Like what is going on in your home where you have like a foot-high Lego head? It's and it's the first thing that he pulls out. This is the second video now. This is the first thing he pulls out, and already the kids are done because it's so funny.
Yeah.
And then another kid pulls out, like, you know, those big heads that you can have specially made for sporting events. That's like, it's like, it'll be like the quarterback, but his head is really big.
Yeah.
Like it was like that, except it was like of his Boston Terrier. It's like a larger than life-size mask of his Boston Terrier. I don't know. It just is so funny to me. And I know some people feel like people are over focusing on this so-called crisis with boys and men, and maybe it's overblown. Maybe we're not really having a crisis. But what I do know is that when I turn on the television, men are killing people.
Yeah.
And there's a whole right-wing apparatus designed to recruit more boys and men into that scheme of killing people. And so there's just something really nice to me about just watching these kids throw hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like a 36 pack of hot dogs. That's really nice.
They got 48 hot dogs now.
It's beautiful. And also a lot of the comments say this too. The idea of like the kids' moms going to get the iron to iron the clothes and it not being there is really funny to me. That's funny.
Or the dad could be going to get the iron.
Sure. Yeah. The dad could be going to get the iron. Sorry, I did an internalized misogyny there. So it's really nice.
You know what makes me feel so impressed by that video is that I'm sitting here. I'm a professional comedian, they say. You know, I can't think of one thing in my house that I would bring to school that would be funnier than that lineup of stuff. I can't think of one funny thing that I even own. That I couldn't win.
I could never
bring something random to school game.
Let's say I got hired to write for a TV show.
Yeah.
And they said, write a little skit for this show. That could be funny. I could never in a million years write something as funny as two boys bring an iron to school and the other two bring 48 hot dogs. There's nobody doing it like these guys. It just got me thinking about some nice stuff I've seen on TikTok lately and like videos that make me cry and boys being nice. And I understand like, you know, the bars on the floor or it's like subterranean for men and their behavior. But for any incel listening, and I know there's millions of incels listening to this podcast. Can I just tell you how easy it is to win us over? Just bring 48 hot dogs to school. That's funny as hell. You get so many dates. Like, what are we talking about here? But anyways, I've been getting served these videos. I'm sure people have seen them because they're going very viral. At least on TikTok they are. And these two guys, two best friends in New York, they're probably like 27 or something. They had this idea to go to a restaurant that represents every country in New York. So they spin the little wheel and it will randomly select a country, and then they'll look online to see if they can find a restaurant that serves that country's food. And then they go to that restaurant. And I don't know how many they've been to. When last I saw, it was something like, I think they've been like 10. So, and there's 135 countries. There's a lot of countries. And some of these places are the only restaurant in the whole city that serves this cuisine. So they go to that place. I've never seen something as beautiful as this series of videos. These guys, first of all, the energy between these two friends is really sweet. Like they clearly love each other. Like they go to, and they're like, cheers, bro. Love you, bro. And it's so nice. And they'll eat the food. They talk really extensively with the server or the owner sometimes to be like, how long has this restaurant been here? Like, did you come over from Bhutan, say, because you're the only Bhutanese restaurant in all of New York? And they very often make best friends with the server / owner that they talk to. And the Bhutanese guy in particular is probably the sweetest one I've ever seen. They become best friends with this guy. I think his name's Kinley or something. They exchange numbers. And then Kinley's like texting them to be like, come to my restaurant for New Year's Eve. And then they do. They go to his restaurant for New Year's Eve. And then in subsequent videos, they're like, oh, Kinley's texting. He's saying it's popping off over at his restaurant. Because a lot of times they go into these restaurants, they're dead. Like there's like nobody there. And a lot of the owners are like, well, yeah, we're still recovering from COVID. Like we're still having a difficult time. And so as a result of these videos, more and more people are checking out these restaurants. And again, it's just like with everything going on vis-a-vis immigrants and people from outside of this country and how they're being treated, it is so beautiful. Like it's making me emotional, but it's so beautiful. These two white guys who present they're frat presenting, okay,
which I support now.
Yeah, they're frat presenting, doing this like beautiful series where they're like opening up their minds to new cultural experiences. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, and they're becoming actual friends with these people. It's so nice. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And so I just wanted to share that's a TikTok digest. That's what's going on over there. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's good stuff over there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Sometimes I look at how grim the world is and I'm like, this isn't what people are like. People are like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost all people are like that. And they just want to like connect with each other and have a little laugh and eat something, And the nice thing is they'll often ask the server, like, just give us whatever you think is the best stuff. And then the server will choose for them what they think is the best. And they'll try to learn a word or two in the language of the country. So they can be like, say cheers in that language or thank you or hello or whatever. It's just like fucking beautiful, dude. It's so nice. And then, so anyway, they went to this Moroccan restaurant and then much like the Bhutanese restaurant, came back to watch like Morocco versus Algeria or something, some soccer game. And they all came back and like, I don't know. I just think it's really nice. And I feel like we talked about this a little bit after the election in 2024. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of political organizing that definitely needs to happen in this country. But there's also just like restoring our society organizing that needs to happen. And this just felt like a really small but nice way to try to do that, to be like, by the way, here's what's going on in Bhutan, I mean, this is a very basic point, at parentheses derogatory.
Yes.
But I feel like that's what, and certainly it was always a lie in certain circles, but like, that's what America used to pretend that it was all about.
Yeah, right.
And like, when we were kids, I feel like there was constantly a thing at school where it was like, here's where we like, I feel like I had multiple like picture books as a kid that I'm sure were problematic, but the whole point of the book was like, let's learn about other cultures. And now it's like, let's get rid of them.
I know. Well, in theory, what they always used to teach us was like that the whole point, the whole beauty of America is that there really is no such thing as like American culture in the same sense of like, oh, this is my tradition from my homeland of Germany, or this is what we do in Ireland. America doesn't have that because we came from all over the place. That was supposed to be the thing that we liked about it, was that you could just invent what it is that you wanted to do. That we didn't have the baggage of a German tradition, that you could just kind of do whatever you wanted.
Right.
And then it turns out that people just want to be Germans again. So I guess we're doing that.
And it's kind of why people came here, because they wanted to do a new thing.
And that's how they said it when they landed. A lot of people don't give the Pilgrims credit for thang.
And then it's like, they're like mad and they're like, you're not allowed to be white anymore. And it's like, well, you can be Polish or whatever. You can go to the Polish community center and eat pierogies.
I'm not stopping you.
But like, you can't be like, my culture is white.
That's not anything. That's not anything.
Go to 23andMe, look at whatever your biggest pie wedge is, assuming it's somewhere in Europe, buy a special hat, put a sticker on your car of the flag or whatever.
Yeah. Get the Mad Hatter hat like Lindy's mom has that has the Norwegian flag on it and call it a day. Okay.
And then anyway, you did it. They let you be white. Look at you.
They let you be white.
You figured it out.
Although, regrettably, I don't think the white Western Europeans are all that interested in repatriating you, because we're all fucking insane in this country. So,
okay, but are they interested in repatriating me?
Let's find out. If you're the Norwegian government, if you're King Harald,
if you work for the Norwegian consulate, can you call me? My mom was almost born there.
She was so close.
She may have been conceived there. I don't know, but it's possible.
I'll look into it. All right. Let us know what nice thing you're seeing. It doesn't have to be about boys. It could be about anybody. Okay. 703-829-0003. deartextmeback@gmail.com. That is where you can reach us. By the way, when you call the number, you can leave a message. You can also text us at that number. I'm not going to answer if you're like afraid that I'm going to pick up the phone and be like, hello.
Will never answer. We will never answer.
Even if I had a way to answer the phone, I wouldn't do it.
Hell no.
I would never. Anyways, let us know what's happening that you like. And if you've gone to a nice restaurant recently, how did that go? Was it nice? And what country was it? And did you learn any new words in that language?
You know, Megan, that reminds me of my ongoing project where I'm going alphabetically through all the countries. I'm reading a book about each country.
How far did you get? Last I heard, you were in Afghanistan.
Still in Afghanistan, Megan.
Great. Keep us posted.
It's a big country. It's a big country, Megan.
I don't think that's what happened. I think you turned off the audiobook, but let us know.
Megan, the audiobook is dense.
Okay. Yep.
I may have picked something a little too academic.
Sure. Yes.
But I'll keep you posted. I'll get back to you. I'm sure I'll be done any day now.
Right.
Do you want me to check? Hold on. Let's just see what percentage I'm at.
What percentage? Can I guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 11%.
Oh boy, I don't think I made it that far. Hold on. Well, this one doesn't give you a percentage, but I can tell you that I'm on chapter 2 of Afghanistan: A Cultural and Political History by Thomas. Well, there's a label covering it, so it just says Thomas. It just says Thomas Barf, but I think it must be Thomas Barfield. So I'm on chapter 2. There are 14 hours and 29 seconds left of this book. Mm-hmm. And if you go back to the beginning, the book is 17 hours and 22 seconds left. So I have listened to 3 hours of Afghanistan, I guess.
Not bad. Something to be proud of for sure.
Although, sometimes I will, when something's like really boring in a soothing way, I will put it on when I go to sleep, and I'll use the sleep timer and set it for like an hour. So I could have slept to an hour of that.
You didn't need to tell me that, and I would have never known, but I do appreciate you taking accountability for your
but maybe I did. I maybe didn't do that. It's possible that I didn't.
Who could say?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get to Bhutan soon.
Yeah. There's how many countries could there be,
Let's try to name them. Azerbaijan, Algeria.
We're going to take a break, and then
Albania.
The show's going to be Aver. That's over. That starts with an A. Well,
Megan,
we've come to the end of the show. Again, I know I already apologized. I just want to offer again my sincerest apologies for
it's okay.
Calling you a bad sports fan.
I feel like I really spooked you because you could tell you crossed a line.
Well, no, it's just because I didn't intend it. And then I could see your reaction, and I was like, oh no, like I actually committed a crime totally unintentionally, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I had the requisite mens rea, it could be a lesser included crime.
Okay, good.
Maybe it wasn't first degree murder. Perhaps it was involuntary manslaughter. And I am sorry. I'd like to apologize to my victims.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And
anyways,
I'll let you know when I'm over it.
Okay. Keep me posted. Why don't you meditate on it? Just ruminate over it while you're listening to your Afghanistan audiobook.
I'll take a nap listening to my Afghanistan book and
wake up.
I honestly, from the first chapter, I did learn a lot about Afghanistan in the first chapter of the book.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was really interesting.
I finally got my library card. It turns out, I had one, by the way. I first moved here and I got one, but I haven't been to the library so long that they booted me out of the system. They're like, oh, she hasn't been here for so long. I bet she doesn't even live in the city anymore. So I had to go in and show them my ID and get my card. And then this weird thing was happening where I couldn't figure out how to create my online account. And I was like, geez, what happened here? Fortunately, a friend of the show, Brian, is a real library head. So he was like, go into the library chat. It's not a bot. It's a real person. It's a real librarian. Yeah. And I was like, is it really? And I went on the DC Library website and I was live chatting. I was like, hello, I can't seem to set up my online account. And the way the person was talking to me, definitely a real person. I was like a real librarian. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And she fixed it all for me. And I go into my account and I realize the issue was that they put my email in wrong. I guess I shouldn't give out my email, but they put it in as Meagan with an N instead of an M. And I was like, oh, there's your problem. Then as I'm looking at it, I realized they also put my name in there as Megan Heather Mays. I was like, oh, look, I'm not complaining about my local. I would never complain about my local library, and I would never defame or slander my beloved librarians. But I did give that lady my driver's license that has my name spelled correctly on it. So I don't know what happened there. The email business is forgivable, but Megan Heather Mays, who's that? You know,
interesting.
So I checked out a book. I put a book on hold and I went to go pick it up today and I had to look for it under Heather.
No,
I found it. And I checked it out. And then I went up to the woman and I said, sorry to bother you, but I believe I've been input incorrectly into your system. And she fixed it right up. And now I have my book. I got, if you care, because everyone's saying we're supposed to read it, Parable of the Sower.
Oh,
Octavia Butler.
I'm sorry to be one of these people, but it's so good.
That's what they're saying. I need to finish My Brilliant Friend first because producer Allie recommended that bad boy to me.
I've been meaning to get into that.
Next time I come to Seattle, I'll bring you my copy if you wish, unless you prefer to listen to the audiobook. I like it. I have a lot of thoughts about it. But we'll see what happens. But I'm like 2/3 done.
Maybe I should read it and then we can have a Text Me Book Club.
Text Me Book Club. Ooh, what an idea.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Perhaps we'll do that.
Perhaps we'll read My Brilliant Friend. Perhaps we'll read the latest work by Thomas Barf.
Or what? Why are we so bad at this? Perhaps we'll read Adult Braces by Lindy West. Pre-order your copy or regular order your copy today.
Depending on what day we put this episode out.
Which at this point, I don't fucking know. I don't know what day it is.
In that spirit, I hope you're all excited about the Super Bowl or enjoyed watching it.
Congratulations. Or I'm so sorry.
Good luck.
Or good luck. I don't know. I don't know. By the way, I'm sure I would like to share something. I've been off NFL for so long. All of a sudden, the Seahawks come back into my visibility and everyone's saying, oh, yes, Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold. I'm like, Sam Darnold? It couldn't possibly be the guy who went viral when he played for the New York Jets like 8 years ago for getting mono and then needing to leave the game. And then ESPN made a graphic that said out indefinitely with mononucleosis. And it was Sam Darnold walking into the frame and pointing toughly. And it went super viral because what do you mean Sam Darnold's out indefinitely with mononucleosis? And what do you mean he's pointing at the camera to tell me about it? It was so funny. And then I was like, but it couldn't possibly be the same guy. And I was like, I'm sure I'm misremembering. I'm sure for whatever reason, I think that Sam Darnold is the out indefinitely with mononucleosis guy. And I was like, I'm going to look it up. And I did. And I was right. Sam Darnold, the current quarterback for the Seattle Supersonics.
The Seattle Super Seahawks.
The Seattle Super Seahawks. That's what they call them. That's what they're calling them. The Seattle Seahawks is the out indefinitely with mononucleosis guy. And I said,
wow, that's funny.
It's really funny. And if he wins a Super Bowl, he will be the first quarterback to be out indefinitely with mononucleosis to win the Super Bowl, I assume. So congrats.
I wonder indefinitely, he could still be out with mononucleosis.
We don't know.
Has anyone told the Seahawks?
I'm not sure they've been made aware. Did the medical team clear him? And if so, what year? 2019? We don't know.
It sounds like somebody noticed a funny character on another sports team and then remembered it for 8 years. Just saying.
For the record, that Jets game was not against the Seahawks. So
I forgot that's your loophole, right?
Yeah, that's my loophole. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode. I don't know what happened in it, or if it was any good.
Couldn't tell you.
Let us know. Sound off in the comments, and we'll see you next week for another installment of. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Destinos? That Spanish
of course.
Language learning.
Yes.
Soap opera.
Mercedes, Ramon, Mercedes, y Juan. Those are mijos.
Anyway, we'll see you next week for a new installment of Destinos.
Con mi, Mercedes.
Mwah.
Text me back. Text me back. Text me back.